Emu wannabe, can't you see my mind is free? Emu wannabe, can't you see my mind is free? Click.
That is not my rule.
Not his rule.
That's not my rule. But you're allowed, if you want, propose 3 other numbers.
3, 6, 12.
3, 6, 12.
3, 6, 12.
3, 6, 12 follows my rule.
10, 20, 40.
10, 20, 40.
That follows the rule.
I'm still multiplying by 2.
I know. I know what you're doing. And yes, it follows my rule. But no, it's not
No,
my
it's
rule.
not your rule. Have you figured it out yet? That's probably because you don't know how to think. That's right, everybody. Look up. Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the show. I'm aronmsound, and this is Look Up, the show where I interject myself into a conversation that not a single sane person asked me to be a part of. So I just slide right on in there like it's a DM that I don't have, and I say, hey, there's more to the conversation. We can talk a lot more at length about this little concept that you're putting out there and what I think I missed in the whole of this conversation that I've been putting on, trying to build up to get you to understand that we need to self-reflect, take a moment, look at ourselves, look at yourself, look at myself, I do every day, and say, hey, maybe we're not so great. Maybe we could be better, but not in the ways that the fresh and mental fits and the pearly squirrels verse would have you believe. No. The Rollo tomatoes of the world don't understand that thinking outside of the box is very important to being able to commandeer oneself and find the best options, just in itself. But before I digress too far, and you stop forgetting that I need to be silly so that you take me serious, I just want to say thank you very much. I've been noticing a viewership just kind of like raise in the recent past, and the fact that I don't edit my videos in any way, except for the ones where I'm doing the shorts now. I'm just doing some shorts. We're doing some shorts. Oh, and I've also started a new little series. I only have one up, but I'm about to start like into it, called Man Lessons for Women, because something needs to counter. Something needs to counter the whole of the the mano pap smear. I had another one the other day, and it'll come to me at some point. Anyways, yeah. Anyways, what we're doing today is taking a look at an awesome Veritasium video from 9 years ago, long before you kids were born. When I was like in my mid-30s. Yeah, that is actually not a joke. That's I just aged myself. So I'm proud to be a 70s kid. I didn't grow up with a phone, so I didn't need to do all this stuff. I'm doing this literally just because it's necessary. It's necessary. Somebody needs to at least be silly out here about this silliness. Does that make any sense? If not, somebody needs to lampoon the lampoon that you got lampooned with. Yeah? No? Okay. Baseline. Okay, yeah, there was a baseline in there. I swear there's a baseline. Oh. There's the baseline. Sorry. Sometimes it's the mix. Sometimes it's all about the mix. When you go to the concerts, you can always blame the mix. Don't blame the mix. Seriously. That guy's worked hard all day long and gets none of the credit. Anyways, what are we talking about today? Aaron... Yes, that's me. We are talking about how to use our brains, how to think more clearly and think outside of the box, how to get into a space outside of ourselves and say, what is it that we're doing to ourselves to limit our ability to think past a certain scope of behaviors. And if that's too complex or convoluted, let me break it down to you. How not to be stupid with your thinking. Is that base enough? This is an approach to utilizing more of your brain, more of your complex comprehension and skill set. I know that you and I can do this. I know that you and I have the capability to do this because if I can do this, trust me, you can do this because look at this. Anyhow, so I'd like to hit the button. Can I hit the button? Can I? All right. Hitting the button. Let's go back. And so veritasium, if you're not, veritasium. If you're not, veritasium. If you're not familiar, is an awesome intellectual program that can be found here on the use of the tubes. And it will expand your mind. And it's not too dissimilar from the School of Life that I will stand on the hill to say that if you want to learn more about human behavior, about yourself, about self-reflection, about just intellectual principles, science, concepts in life, and just learn a little bit in tiny little bite-sized segments that make it easier than what I would put out there. Veritasium. You know, get it from the source. But otherwise, get it from me, because I'm here to explain it to you like your homie would. I'm here to talk about this, and if you haven't figured it out, to look at this, you know, in the way that most people are not out here, which is to say, look, obviously the majority of us are normal. And apparently that's exceptional. And so if we're all exceptional, then that makes that normal. So even the exceptional is, oh, guess what they are? They're normal. See? It's just a different way of thinking. And it makes, and you can call it delusion, but I live in that. I live in that reality, and that's what works for me. It doesn't just work for me. It works for the majority of people and has for the majority of all humankind to be factual with you. And that's because normalcy is seeing that all individuals make up the whole. So before we move forward, I'm going to present that as a different way of thinking, and then hopefully by the end of this simple mind game, this little game played with the mind, you can test yourself and see where your biases actually lay, maybe. But we shall see. All right. Where are we at? Here's the button. You ready? I'm ready. Oh, yeah. Okay.
1632.
1632.
And
64.
4. Yeah.
Those also follow my rule.
Okay.
They do.
What's the rule? What are you thinking?
Multiply by 2.
That is not my rule.
No.
That's not my rule. But you're allowed, if you want, propose 3 other numbers.
3, 6, 12.
3, 6, 12.
Okay.
3, 6, 12 follows my rule.
10, 20, 40.
All right. So before
gonna-
we move any further, before he poses the question, I'm going to let you sit with that for a second. Well, both these people said 3, 6, 12, or 2, 4, 6, or well, okay. So yeah, but that follows his rule, but it's not the rule. Now, what could this possibly be? Let's see what the question is. Take a moment with yourself and consider what could the other options, the questions be. And when you're saying, Aaron, I'm watching this video so I can figure it out. I'm helping you figure it out. And this is called comprehension skill. And there's a number of sets of different versions of comprehension skills, so I'm not going to go into that. That would be a different video altogether. But we'll just call it comprehension skill. The capability to stand outside of an unknown and think of all the variables and give them all the equal plausibility and possibility so that you can fathom and not assume, fathom, to contemplate, to hypothesize, to be curious about, to question, and to give plausibility and or through the variable possibilities. Possibilities. to a certain subject that you may not have all the info to. It doesn't make you an idiot yet. The idiocy would come from the assumption that you have the right answer to any of those possibilities, which is a different way of thinking. It's a more intellectual way of thinking, and it's actually a more, I would dare say, adult way of thinking. And if you can apply this to other things in your life, you might find out that it can help you in your emotional intelligence as well, because you'll give people the benefit of the doubt for their own experiences or their own background. Just so many opportunities to apply the variable thinking concept. It was once said to me that we can assume something, not know another thing, be missing a detail, presume a concept, and have someone not tell us the information. These are all possibilities. So in other words, there's something we know, there's something we don't know, there's something we couldn't know, and there's something someone else won't tell us. And including that, guess what else there is? Do you have the answer yet? It's something someone will tell us.
Give you guys 3 numbers, a 3-number sequence, and I have a rule in mind that these 3 numbers obey. And I want you to try to figure out what that rule is. But the way that you can get information is by proposing your own set of 3 numbers, to which I will say yes, that follows my rule, or no, it doesn't follow my rule, and then you can propose what you think the rule is.
Okay, so did you get that? He's going to propose 3 numbers, and he's going to suggest, those 3 numbers are going to suggest what his rule is, are, them, they. And then he's going to let them propose a set of numbers that follow that rule so that they can guess what the actual rule is. Seems simple enough, right? Well, do yourself a favor. Start to build the numbers in your head so you can presume or assume what may be coming, so that once we get there, we can all together kind of check out what it is that we chose in our biases or expectations or behavioral practice. Yeah. What'd you say? I said, okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so here are the 3 numbers. 2,
Okay.
4, 8.
2, 4, 8.
You don't need to continue the sequence, you can propose a totally different sequence, whatever you want to propose, and I will simply say yes or no, that follows my
4,
rule.
8.
Okay, so you get that? Those are the numbers that follow his principle, that follow his rule. It doesn't explain the rule, it is an example of the rule. Okay? 2, 4, 8. Take a minute. Take a second. Take 20 seconds. Engineer that's not there? Oh, he's not there. Okay, time wasted. Time up. Here we go.
1632.
1632 and
64.
Why is he? I'm sorry. Why is he looking to her for the other? It's too. They might be sharing a brain. I'm concerned. All right, who drives? Do they both? Okay. He's got the wheel and she's got the speed. That's what the pedal. The pedal. Sorry. I've been practicing too much of the Chad Chatterton there. Get it together. All right. Back to it.
those also follow my rule.
Okay.
What's
Okay.
the rule? What do you think?
Multiply by 2.
That is not my
Not the
rule.
rule. Okay, is that what you thought it was? Were you thinking to yourself that it was multiply by 2? Seems like the obvious answer, right? He said 2, 4, and 8. Well, you'd assume, well, well, yeah, sure, of course. That could be the rule. But he says it's not. Okay, so this is something to remember. There's several skills in this little bit right here that seem to be lacking and being sucked from us via the TikToks and the quick thinking stuff when you're scrolling and being addicted to a limited set of ideas that are being fed to us on any given day. My head out the box. See, that's what happens. I can break free of the box. Break your box. Go like this to your box, everybody, while we're talking about it. While we're in here, while I'm standing here in the obelisk with you, under the Ben up there, being crushing us all down in this mental prison that we fling poopies at each other from. You heard me. Break out your box. Just push it on up. It's that easy. Just go on up there. You might notice if somebody's up above you, they're going to look down and you just be like, hey, yo, it's okay. Cells aren't locked. Anyhow, that's part of the point of this. None of our cells are locked. We lock ourselves in to a way of thinking, a practice behavior, because most of the time it's easy when our circles tend to support limited thinking because it's safe. It's safety in numbers. It's safety in numbers and thinking. It's safety in so many ways, except the truth is it starts to eat in on itself. You can't have a whole group of hawks. You just can't. You can't have a whole group of doves. There's got to be a symbiosis. There's got to be a balance of all things. That's just the nature of reality, really. But most importantly, if we can't get to that balance cautiously or carefully or easily without a battle, unless we start to have cognitive, comprehensive, conscientious thinking and reasoning. The knee-jerk, easy reaction is a more base and not base position. And it's important that when we consider each other and ourselves, that we use more than simple interaction and reaction thought. Wipe out the stuff that was told to us when we were a kid and examine who we are in the world. Examine what's going on. It's healthier that way, and pretty much on a daily basis. And I say pretty much because we can only do so much. We're all just human. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Just like everybody else, I've made plenty of errors in stupidity. Look at me. I'm here on the air. I called it on air. It's the use of the tubes. Such is life. It's whether or not you learn from the errors and you grow from that and you stretch out. Yeah, like that. Be free to be silly. Think of things differently. That's whether or not you get something out of it. You can choose to get something out of it or not, or something else. And like we talked about, there's something we know, there's something we don't know, there's something we couldn't possibly know, and there's something somebody isn't telling us. And then as well, what else? Yeah, there's something somebody will share with us.
That's not my rule. But you're allowed, if you want, propose 3 other numbers.
Sure.
3, 6, 12.
3, 6, 12.
3, 6, 12 follows my rule.
10, 20, 40.
10, 20, 40.
That follows the rule.
Okay, so now you're like, well, okay, so it's just, multiplied by self. Yeah, multiply by self, multiply by self, multiply by self, multiply by self, oh yeah, multiply by self, definitely multiply by self. Oh, multiply by self, multiply by self, oh yeah. Hey, now, before you go in, let me ask you, how is your... Take your head out of your... Okay, we're back. I don't know what I said there. Oh, yeah. Not the actual answer, but it's a good try. Good try, you guys. Good try. Okay? Bless. Do you want to move forward with this? Do you want to keep thinking about it? It's not multiplied by self. But I'm sure that's what you thought, and then when you looked at your neighbor, you looked at your friend, and you looked across the way, and then you texted it into Discord, and then the other person wrote it onto Destiny's chat, and then suddenly everybody said, oh yeah, absolutely, that's the answer, that's the answer, that's the answer. Maybe, in fact, maybe it's not. Maybe it's something else altogether. Did you ever consider that? Maybe it's something he's not telling you, and just waiting for you to get it wrong. Did you consider that? Do you ever consider that it's something really obvious? Like super obvious, like something where you'll kick yourself later. Like a magic trick. Yeah, that's you getting in the way of you. And you don't have to get in the way of you if you consider you. You get it? You don't have to get in the way of you if you consider you. And that's just one rule. That's a Ram Dass rule. I'm paraphrasing it. And if you want me to explain it, okay, sure. Look, we all expect that we are somehow exceptional when we are normal. And normalcy means making mistakes and needing to reflect upon our mistakes on a constant basis and checking in on ourselves and with ourselves for every reason in the book, from our own emotional health to our own mental sanity, even the little check-ins, our physical health and how we feel, whether or not we feel good about ourselves, or whether or not we're doing the things that we love and enjoy, whether or not we're doing the things that we need to include, and whether or not we're balancing those things out. Daily chores, you name it. It sounds simplistic enough. It sounds like a no-duh, but most people don't check in with themselves or have a checklist or have anything in their practices other than behavioral addiction, comfort zones that allow one or many people to get away with bad behaviors that's not even good for themselves, bad thought behaviors, bad practices. Otherism. It's how you fall into otherism, because then you start seeing your thinking patterns as better. Look, this is one of the things you should know about me, by the way. I will never tell you that I'm more than you. I think we're all the same. We all make the same mistakes. We all love our own brand now, don't we? It's the truth. Look up! Above your head. Above the ideas and the concepts that are being sold to us through this little device right here. This device isn't life. There was a whole life before this. And how do we get out of that when there's people like me sitting here telling you to get out of that, but I'm still feeding it to you? Well, we have to make healthier choices about it and its use of which, and take some time to be introspective about the other possibilities beyond, multiply by 2. Multiply by itself then. Well, then what is it? What is it? Hold on. Just chill. I got you. Just... Yeah, just chill, okay?
Yeah, I'm still multiplying by 2.
I know. I know what you're doing.
Yeah, we know what you're doing. You're just looping in a loop-de-loop like you're an NPC, but you're not. You're a human. And each and every one of us is involved in a very complex and amazing reference system that's reviewing itself constantly to build a better now. And whether it does it now or the next now or the now after that, it will from our frame of references and the experience that we bring back to the background construct. And the keys to that learning are freeing ourselves from the physical construct that is here trying to usurp the greater learning. And that sounds like a lot of very high-headed, I'm walking on water kind of concepts. But it's really not. It's about experiencing life and letting go of all of the rules that would stop you from being the best of you. That start people into thinking that they're different from other people. That start people into seeing gender and role and all sorts of rules instead of possibilities and plausibilities and concepts that they may not have thought of, and applications that may not have at first applied to them, but could now because they see themselves or situations differently, just by applying a different standard of view, a different standard of practice, a different capability, a different ability in the self, a slight different tweak of point of view, angle of perspective. It's not easy, and I'm not going to act like it is. But I will tell you that it's possible for each and every single one of us. A lot of these shows out here would have you believe that there is one pathway, and there is not. There is a pathway for each and every single one of us, and it is about our unique and individual take, our hot take, on all of the reality that we all share, that gives us all a unique advantage or skill, by the way, because each and every one of us comes from a different angle. And it's how we use that angle to our advantage or disadvantage. Which brings me back to you can allow you to get out of your own way and become the best you that you can allow yourself to be. I'm not saying I've achieved anything magnificent. I'm saying I'm in the journey deeply. But I'm open to sharing that journey. I'm open to being communicative about that journey. I'm open to the flaws and follies and all of the concepts within that journey. But most importantly, I want to share the one thing that I have learned that is, if anything, it's an actual wisdom, is that life is to be enjoyed and not to be fretted over and lost. All the time that you waste not doing something that you probably want to do, it's just a waste. And, you know, I should probably write down that I need to make another video about that altogether, but I haven't found the right content to go after. It's probably in Jordan Peterson's world. Whew. I don't know if I want to go down that route. But anyways, they look like a fun group. What a fun couple. You could tell they're a fun couple. And if I look into it, they broke up 2 days later. Damn! See? Something you know, something you don't know, something you could know, something somebody's not telling you. And me telling you stuff and things. Oh.
Yes, it follows my rule, but no, it's not.
Oh, by the way, speaking of the rule, if you like what you're seeing, please like and subscribe, ring the bell, enjoy the show. I really do hope you enjoy, and make sure to like and subscribe, Veritasium. Anything I share here, even if it's people I don't agree with. And while I'm screaming at the screen going, "Pow!" Like and subscribe to them too. It's about we all strive to make our living from this place. As you can tell, I'm just brand new again. I've restarted. I don't have a ton of, well, I do have a ton of videos now, but it's because I have a fervent capability to create and perpetrate. And I really hope to help change, or at least rebalance a little of this crazy red pill, everybody's got to live one way or the other, scared, prudish, don't sleep with one another. None of the men are getting any, and all the women are dating 20% of men, and we're all ignoring the real battle, which is that there's a class battle and a financial battle that we need to talk about that's worldwide and affecting, the surplus of both food and water, and also civil rights and all sorts of stuff. These are the conversations we need to be having, not about, how to date a man so that he feels like he's an actual man. That's some creepy 1950s stuff where, that's why I've started that other program. And so that's why I'm here, basically, by the way, as I interrupt the program to explain to you me, like you haven't figured it out. By the way, that's why I'm here. If anything, I just hope that we all can get along. What's this all about, Aaron? I don't know. Okay, let's check it out.
5, 10,
10 and 20.
Follows my rule.
100,
200, 400.
Follows my rule.
500, 1,000, 2,000.
Follows my rule.
What do you think? What do you think so far? Are you now like, well, okay, so it wasn't 2, 4, 6, 8. It's not it's multiplied by itself? No, 5. Wait, no, by tens? No, by what? Oh, what is it? What is going on? Huh. I just don't know, Aaron. I can't. Well, I'm going to tell you. We should all be concerned about most people's comprehension level and skills because of the public school systems. Actually, it has very little. The public school system has a lot to do with more with our families and our parents and our friends not taking any time to really educate us. Also, the fact that we've just straight up dropped, home economics and all of these things out of our lives that we really need. We really need so that we can look at life in a slightly different manner and start using deeper comprehension skills. More than single layers, binary skill sets. We can be better. We were better than that. Don't be a downer. Anyway.
Want me to keep going?
But do I just keep going? You're going to tell me your rule?
No, I'm not going to tell you. Okay.
Am I doing it the wrong way? Am I approaching this the wrong way?
You're totally fine, but you're approaching it the way most people approach it. Like, think strategically about this. You want information.
Yeah.
I have information.
Yeah.
The point of the three numbers, right, is to allow you to figure out what the rule is.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to give you the numbers that I don't think fits the sequence and then see what you say. So
I like how this guy went at it. He was like, well, how can I take this apart so I can deconstruct and see what it isn't? A lot of people don't find out what things aren't. Instead, they want to see what they are. And that's another way to deconstruct a concept, by the way. Or think outside of the box a little bit, is to say, okay, well, what is it not? Let's figure it out. Let's figure out what the platypus is not. Let's figure out what a person is not. Let's figure out what a background is not. Let's figure out what a intellectual argument is not. Well, we know it's not a duck, and we know it's not a beaver, and we know it's not we know it's not hatred, and we know it's not love. Okay, so maybe it's something else, right? Huh.
2, 4, 7.
Oh.
Fits my rule.
So whatever I propose is right.
So is your rule like you can propose any number?
So the rule is anything we say is yes.
No.
Damn it.
But you are on the right track now.
See? So the interesting capitulation a lot of people will give immediately is, oh, so it's anything you want. Assuming that there's a randomness to the other concept, which is a capitulation to actually lazy thinking. Because you don't want to perceive at that point that it could be anything outside of one's own grasp. And this is a very common trait of humankind, is we want to give ourselves both the benefit of the doubt and the reassurance that we aren't wrong. Because none of us want to walk off a cliff. We all want to trust our eyesight. None of us want to walk into a wall. We all want to trust what we think we know. But what happens if the wall is just a hologram? What happens if the cliff is closer than we think? What happens if it's further away? Well, then we've given ourselves a misrepresentation. We've misunderstood. We have not seen what may have actually been there. And then we avoided what wasn't actually there because of our own, what? Preconceived notion, an assumption, which makes an ass out of you, el moi. Right? It's something we can agree on? All right. So, what is the answer?
Hit me with three numbers.
3, 6, 9.
Follows my rule.
Oh, that didn't follow my rule.
It doesn't follow. Yeah. By the way, that right there is the Andrew Tate red pill logic. I don't understand anything that's going on. My rule must apply. Don't question my authority. Now, he's being sarcastic, but lovely couple.
Good, right?
5.
3 weeks later, he was found cold in a bathtub, missing his kidneys. What? I don't know that. I have no clue. Not that.
10, 15.
That follows my rule.
Yep.
What? Oh. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't believe.
Oh, the foof in the background. Oh,
1, 2,
sorry.
3.
Sorry, foof in the background.
This is good, right?
5, 10, 15.
She's concerned.
That follows
okay.
my rule.
Foof in background.
Oh. Really?
Yeah.
I don't believe this.
Yeah, I don't believe it either. They were really cute. Oh, what are we talking about? Oh, yeah. Critical thinking. Cognitive sensibilities. Comprehension skills that work outside of the norm. Rejecting the norm or set of norms to process thinking. To stop practicing bad or just lazy practices in thinking. And I hate to put it in a negative, but sometimes shame is the only way to get y'all, right? The only way to get you is to make you look at yourself in the mirror and go, was I really doing that? Yeah, you totally were. You were totally doing that. Yep. Anyways, we all do it. Okay. I don't want to say it 3 times because then it's like, a Lambo bro who's like, I'm totally a man. No, I'm totally a man. No, I'm totally a man. Yeah, bro, I believed you after that 3rd time. Okay, so back to the brain thought. She's like, I can't believe this is impossible. I could never be wrong or not be able to consider a thought. And he's like, I see this 22 times a day when I can't remember where anything is. It's okay. These are normal. It's the key is whether or not you accept that it's normal. The key is whether or not you just understand that we're human and forgive yourself. The greatest forgiveness is really forgiving oneself for the stupid little stuff that we do. Once we do something that's horrible to another person, that's something we really shouldn't forgive ourselves for. Somebody else has to forgive you for that. Okay, by the way, let's not get that confused. People love to get that confused. Horrible things other people, they get to their choice to forgive us, and then you got to judge off of that. Horrible things to ourselves, forgive ourselves. You get it? Selves, us forgiving, other people, them forgiving. Not you just forgive because you think you're forgiven for whatever reason. Because that's called imagination. All right? Okay, thanks. All right. Thanks for talking.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Follows the rule.
What about 7, 8, 9?
Oh,
Yeah.
took y'all long enough. Good God. This is a great example of how simple concepts can completely be missed. And that's how magic works, by the way. So holding a simple concept right in front of your face and just having the sleight of hand to keep it out of your purview and not hold it there long enough for you to understand what was actually going on. And in fact, that's the key to magic, is running away quick enough. Which also brings me to the idea about manipulation of ideas, is that if you can hold up an idea fast enough and run away from the logic, you can make people believe just about anything. And you can get them to commit atrocities, as we know now, from human history.
That follows the rule.
8, 16, 39.
Fits
Follows the rule.
Excellent.
But we're no closer to the rule.
Yeah, but
How
he
did get to the
doesn't really
rule?
know what the rule is. He can kind of sense it. He was like, I got it. I do. It's like somebody tightrope walking across between 2 buildings, and although they've never tightrope walked before, and the moment they get to the other side, they were like, oh yeah, I totally meant to do that.
7, 13. Follows
Follows
the
the
rule.
rule.
11, 12, 13.
How does this
Follows
make
the
sense?
Follows the rule.
10,
I don't know
9,
how to
8.
do this.
Does not follow the rule. 10, 9, 8.
10, 9, 8. Nope, does not follow the rule. She's starting to get it right there. By the way, I want you to wonder about the college education system. Because all these people seem to be college educated. This looks like Santa Barbara or something, too. Or Stanford. I believe it is Stanford campus, by the way. Which is...
Does not.
Oh, so is it all in ascending order?
Yay!
Okay.
Hey, she even used the correct terminology. High five. She's the first person to get it, and he edited it, so she is. She's like, yeah. I'll send it. Look at him. Look at Chode Bradley. Look at Chad Chodley. He's like, Good for her. I'm so proud of you. By the way, be proud of our friends. Be proud of your loved ones when they figure something out before you, because then they can share the knowledge with you. Don't compete against them. I'm saying it don't. You just stop it, okay? It's like adolescent behavior. We're not in a sandpit. Life isn't a sandpit. It's about accumulated knowledge that we can share and what we can share. I've got another video that I'm going to work on today, and I should be done by this evening, about sharing and the difference between a hawk and a dove, and the concept between and the mathematical proofing within the video itself, showing how sharing gives us a wider potential to grow than eating each other. Essentially, and to simplify it, I was gonna get convoluted, but we want to see the rest of this video, and I want to see the high five. I've been holding the high five like tension.
Yes.
Yes.
That one's to get it. You guys nailed
Yes.
it. That's the rule. That's the rule.
Good
Increase
job.
numbers in increasing order. Numbers in ascending order.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 15, 25. Doesn't matter. Any
Okay,
numbers.
but what does this have to do with bias, Aaron? Well, the gentleman will explain. Can you just hold your horses up and explain the whole time? It has to do with our proclivities to not think outside of a practiced nature, to not go outside of what it was we were told, to not go outside of the things that were comfortable, to not go outside of a little tiny prison that we build for ourselves, and do not, and then to stand there and protect, like she did, her reasoning for herself even, when nobody was attacking her, but she was like, I can't believe that! Ah! Cognitive dissonance.
In ascending order. I was inspired to make this video by the book The Black Swan by Nassim Taleb.
Amazing
now, the Black
book.
Swan is a metaphor for the unknown and the unexpected. I mean, in the old world, the theory was that all swans were white. So each instance of a white swan would make you think, yeah, that theory's pretty good. But the point is, you can
Things that didn't age well.
never prove a theory true. And in fact, when people found Australia, they realized that there were black swans.
Surprise!
What was interesting for me was that everyone I spoke to came up with a rule very early on and then only proposed numbers that fit with that rule they were thinking.
So, they basically decided right away what the pattern was, despite the fact that he was saying to them, no. They still were utilizing the same pattern. And that's part of the listening skill that leads to a better comprehension skill. And it's one of the things I note amongst most of the arguers, the debaters, the talking and the typing on the U's of the tubes, is that the skill of listening that's also presumably part of a general respect factor, both for oneself and for others, and for thoughts. It's kind of lacking. People are just waiting to say what they want to say, type what they want to type. And they aren't actually even responding to one another. It's just a large echo chamber of, mama, me, you, me. Yeah. And a lot of pithy anger for the replacement of actual interaction. You don't know what pithy means? A lot of self-absorbed anger just for the sake of doing so. To seem funny to oneself. For the sake of seeming funny. And it seems like that takes away from our general ability to really get along. And that kind of sucks, right? Look up!
Looking for you guys to propose a set of numbers that didn't follow your rule and didn't follow my rule. I was looking for you guys not to try to confirm what you believe. You're
looking for you guys to try to not confirm what you believe. In other words, thinking outside of your practices, thinking outside of the box, not doing what you normally do. To see that you may need to change or adjust a system that you're using to see a different angle to get the right answer. Nowadays, we would have the answer be repeating the same mistake over and over and over again. But that seems to be a very popular practice because it's so much easier when tribes get together and, throw poopy at one another when it's golden plated. Because they plated it with fake gold, of course. Gold leaf.
Always asking something where you expect the answer to be yes, right? Like you're trying to get at it.
Yeah.
But instead you want to get the no.
You want to get the no because that's much more informational for you than the yes. Like if everything's
No, that
giving a
is
yes.
true. That is really true once you say that.
That is what's so important about the scientific method. We set out to disprove our theories. And it's when we can't disprove them that we say, this must be getting at something really true about our reality. So I think we should do that in all aspects of our lives. If you think that something is true, you should try as hard as you can to disprove it. Only then can you really get at the truth and not fool yourself.
And that's the big issue here, is that people, when they just sense that something is true, they never question their own behaviors, their own ideas. They don't get out of their own comfort systems to even look at themselves to say, am I in any way just falling down the path of believing anything I was told when I was a little kid even? Am I breaking any mold whatsoever to challenge myself, or am I just taking the easiest road out of this so that I can pat myself on the back and tell me how great a person I am, despite the fact that I didn't even look at myself and go, yo, wow, did I, wait, is that actually even logical? Forget about that. Does that make any sense? Is there some other way I could have seen that even? No, because a lot of times our world tells us with confirmation bias that we're the greatest thing ever, and we couldn't possibly be making a mistake. And that's when we know we're probably effing it up for everybody. And that's why I always say, everybody, like and subscribe, and if you can, make sure not to forget, look up!